Pharoahe Monch, we're sitting on some steps.
What up, what up?
We're in Austin, my first time out here. I had to come here home, and we're sitting on some steps. I like this.
Man, this is Austin. This is how you do it in Austin.
This is how we do, this is how we roll.
Yeah.
Alright, let me ask you something, right? Not to be disrespectful, but what the fuck is wrong with you? You make good albums. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You're supposed to at least have one shit album. Then we go, oh look, Pharoahe fell off, he fell off. And then you come back with a super album, but you're not doing that.
I don't know. I think it's because I take my time and people are mad at me because I take too long. I think if I ever had to rush, put one out in 3 months, I think it would be pretty fucked
So
up.
basically all I gotta do to get a shit album out of you is push you to do an album in 2-3 months. And we got that. And we stick Jean Grey on there as well, make her look bad.
Exactly, let's do it.
Is that how we do?
Jean does an album a week.
That's why she's a superhero. Let me ask you something, right? What's the legacy that you want to leave? Like, the mark that Pharoahe Monch wants to leave, once everything is done, the dust is settled, everything's done, what's the mark you want to leave for your fans, for hip-hop, for Pharoahe Monch?
Right now, man, I'm real big on the honesty, and I say that, I don't want people to get the wrong idea on some goody shit. I just mean like, and bringing that across in the music. So whatever it is, whether it's some rock shit that I venture off into, or some disco shit, I want it to really be from my heart. And I don't want any of the music I put out to be corporate bullshit, fucking trendy bullshit. You know, I could work with the trendiest producer or whatever, but I want it to be from my heart, the song.
Being true to yourself, I suppose, right? How did the collaboration with Immortal Technique come about?
I just seen Immortal years ago at a show at some fucking venue in New York that I was at, and he jumped on stage, and I loved his passion and his energy, and and he ripped it, you know, and following him since then, and he has his own voice, which is what hip-hop is about. Like, what is your voice? What do you have to say? How are you going to express it? So with the W.A.R album, you know, there's a lot of friends I have in the Rolodex that I could have called for different collaborations, but I wanted to make sure that the collaborations were honest. And so on that record, you know, making this scene and you're writing this scene and you're filming this scene in the movie, and you're like, who walks in the room? Who do you cast, you know, for this? And not for the sales or the propaganda, the shit.
It's to make the album complete.
I thought he was a perfect fit for that song and that spot. Same thing with Fonte and Styles P. Same thing with Jill Scott. Same thing with Jean Grey. Me and Jean Grey had recorded our verses for the song already, and then, you know, I had a wish list of who I wanted to end the song, and you know, I'm a big Royce fan. So for me, that's like it's perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm lucky.
How's your writing style changed, or the process of writing changed over the years?
It's definitely gotten to the point where I look at it from a script perspective, and I'll start off and I'll say, I want to evoke this emotion at the top, and I want to be manic. So I'm going to just yell and scream. For the first 4 bars, nothing. Then I'm going to come out and I'm going to get my head, and then I have to be poignant. So poignant that it makes up for me screaming. And then I have to finish why I did all that in the beginning. So I think about a verse
before you lay it down.
And then, so when I imagine how it would look on screen, I could then write it and be like,
oh shit, it's some cinematic shit.
Exactly.
Wow, how did you develop that though? How did you?
Because I'm a big movie fan and comic book fan, and you know, I go watch sometimes the film doesn't end right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why did they do that? You know, what would you have liked to have seen? Same thing with rhymes. It's the same shit. Like this song, what do you like about it? I could go back and listen to my own album and be like, this would have been better if I would have. I think that's what art is about. You know?
Right.
I'm never really satisfied. So I think about the verse like that and the song like that. How should this end? We should just go to straight clapping. It's symbolic. There's a gunshot. What is this? Revolutionary.
Yeah.
Rhyming over the claps. You know what I mean? Like, let's try that. Yeah.
So you might as well start writing a screenplay.
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
I think you should, because if you can envisage your lyrics and your verses like that, then I think that transition into creating a cinematic masterpiece shouldn't be a problem for you.
That's where I want to go. I have a bunch of ideas, even with the clap video.
Yeah.
When I went to the director, you know, one of the first things I said was that the clapping should be symbolic.
Right.
To not applause.
Right.
Not gunshots, but disapproval.
Final question, and a word about Nate Dogg, who we tragically lost. I haven't processed this still, but what was he like to work with? And you must have met him. What was he like? I suppose fondest memory of Nate Dogg.
Man.
Because he was such a giant.
I think you said it. Like, I've been asked this question all day, but I really guess I haven't processed it. One of the things that's incredible is it really puts in perspective time frame,
right,
of careers, and me listening to all of his music and then me working with him, and then his passing puts in perspective where music is at, where I'm at individually as an artist, and the time frame. But more importantly, his body of work. I worked with him on a song on his album. Just professionalism in terms of the craft of getting in there and getting some shit done. And the work ethic. I love, I was in the studio with Dr. Dre and him. And I laid the verse to Pledge Allegiance on his album.
Yeah.
And then Dre came in to hear the verse, to approve it.
As he does.
Mad nervous. And I also recorded on that Sony. It's like $12,000 Sony mic that Dre used at the time. And as soon as I was like 1-2, she was like 1-2. I was like, that's me? Like, so yeah, just being out in LA working with Nate on his album, and then having Dre come in and approve the verse, and, give me this.
Cosign. Seal of approval.
Crazy.